She's all right.
Good evening from the beautiful East Eddy Wall. I'm Pat, real man of genius. Going to drop my 10 cents on the Taurus G2C. My buddy Larry, which I thank very much for letting me borrow this, told me that I should come pick up this G2C and shoot it. Normally, guns like this don't come across my radar. I'm not normally into the sub $200. So I am thankful he let me borrow this thing. It is an excellent value. Straight up, straightforward, it works. I took this thing out. I had the camera on for the first 100 rounds because I didn't know how it would go. Well, it just fired. I turned the camera off, shot it another 150 rounds because it was just uneventful. There were no failure to ejects, there were no failure to feeds, no failure to fires. It went. So now, what I'm looking at, which I said, you know, the sub 200, here in Tennessee, Rural King is running these at $179 with a $25 rebate. Now, that $25 rebate doesn't knock it down to $154 automatically. You have taxes and you have a background check, and that'll bump it to $205-ish. You know, I'm not going to count change. And then you get your $25 rebate back. So that puts you at $180 in this thing. And to me, that is a really good deal. Taurus, definitely, I guess if they cheaped out in the right places. The gun is fairly accurate. I think the only thing that's holding me back is that I need more time on this trigger. This trigger is not exactly what I'm used to. It's a little stiffer than what I'm used to. And, well, naturally you get better with practice. So if I were to shoot a lot more, then I would probably shoot this thing just as well as any of the others. And also, you know, another point to be made, basically, you know, my carry gun is the Glock 27. This one's, I've gotten my money's worth out of it. It's worn. But if you were to have, let's say, 500 bucks, and you're standing at the gun store counter, and you're looking at a Glock versus the Taurus, well, instead of dropping your 500 bucks on the Glock, you drop your 200 on this thing, which actually I said it was 180. You drop your 200 on this thing, then you get $100 worth of ammo. You can pick up $100 worth of steel targets and have $100 left, that $300 difference now, have $100 left to take your family out to dinner or go camping for the weekend or something. And that is just a really good bargain. I am glad that this little pistol has shown me that good guns come cheap. Taurus has done a good job. There the Taurus is, next to my well-worn Glock 27. I put 1,000,000 miles on that little pistol. This thing was beautiful when I first started carrying it. But I've got it out here just to compare the size. Glock 27 is the same size as the Glock 26. Which would, you know, the 26 would be the same 9mm as the G2C, and that's the reason that I'm comparing the two. Slides are the same size, but now the Glock is just a little bit shorter in the grip handle. And when I carried it, that is the only little difference, is it poked my shirt tail out just a little bit more. And then here is how the G2C fits in my holster that is intended for the Glock. I may try, if I can, try to find some kind of part number for a comparable holster and put it in the description. Because I don't know if too many companies are making quality holsters for these right now. But I'm sure this little gun will gain enough popularity to just jump up and take off. It's got a nice grip. It's very gritty. And almost bit on my skin just a little bit too much, but that'll go away with time. I believe she's a good little pistol. But the only cons that I have on this pistol are, like I said, the trigger that I need more time on, which is pretty much me, but it is a little stiff and pretty far back. And of course I would take off this loaded when up. I don't know if it was a lawyer that told them to put this loaded when up on there. He needs a whole box of these dropped on his head if he told him to put that loaded when up on there, because as far as I'm concerned, anything mechanical can and will break. This piece in here, I don't know if it would break and fall down or if it just break and get out of the way, but putting this on here, especially on a carry gun, any mechanical piece is a point of failure. So you have the piece itself, what it pivots on, and a spring that keeps it pushed down in there. And honestly, on a budget pistol, taking parts off makes it cheaper. So if Taurus wanted to save $1 or $3, let them take that stupid thing off. That would tickle me to death. Also, I'm not big on a manual safety. I've got no reason for a manual safety. They get flipped on at the worst times, and you know, really your safety is in your head. You know, you put your finger out here, you keep it off the trigger, you keep it in a quality holster that actually covers it. This thing will never fire. That's the only safety you really need. So basically, if Glock were, or if, here I say Glock, if Taurus were to take this loaded when up off, take that thumb safety off, then I very much would consider buying this over a Glock. But as for shooting this thing, I have really enjoyed it. It has been an excellent little shooter, and after I shot it and saw that it functioned, I actually carried it. And like I said previously, this thing was a borrowed pistol, so I'm not going to go spend 30 or 40 bucks on a holster just to hand the gun back. So what I did was tried it. This is a Glock 26 and 27 holster, and it fits perfectly. This was a Tagua, and I've had it for so long I probably can't find a model number or anything on it. But like I said, it's a leather holster for the Glock 26, 27, and it slid right down in there. And I've carried this thing comfortably for the last couple of days. Couldn't tell that it wasn't my normal carry pistol. And it's been a great little gun. I'm very pleased with it, and I believe that you will too. And in conclusion, I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with this little G2C. I'm going to clean it up, give it back to Larry, and I may just take my own $180 and go buy me one now. If you liked the video, please subscribe, hit a like, turn on the notifications, leave a comment, anything to let me know that you enjoyed it. And until next time, have a wonderful day.